Greater Good Radio. Connect, learn, heal, and grow.
You mentioned that all roads led to mayor, right?
Yeah.
So let me ask you this. If you did become athletic director, you still think all roads lead to mayor?
No. I'd be the AD today. Yeah. I'm convinced if I'd been the AD, the UH wouldn't be in the situation it's in. I've watched it. I've watched it very sadly not be led the way it should have been led. I've watched the lack of decision-making, the lack of courage, the lack of engagement of the community, et cetera, et cetera. I'd be the AD today. I'd be the AD until I either died or somebody told me I had to retire. But I would have been the AD.
Why is AD so important to you?
Well, I've always loved sports. And look, sports is, I talked about my mom, but sports is how I got to go to college.
But why the AD?
Yeah. When I was getting my master's degree at the University of Hawai in 1972 in educational administration, I knew I wanted to be a head coach and an AD. That was always it. I left coaching, even though I was the associate head coach and defensive coordinator. I was a pretty good coach for economic reasons. But, you know, I've always stayed around the game and all those years of sports, and I always thought I'd like to run an athletic department. I mean, I didn't think that was crazy. I mean,
but only at UH?
I think the only place I felt like, you know, if I had stayed in coaching, I would have gone on to coach somewhere. I think I would have been a head coach, and we're probably a pretty good school. I don't know what kind of success we would have had. I was pretty good at that, and I think that, you know, would have taken on its course. And I mean, I would have liked to have been an AD. I could have been an AD at a big university, I think, at some point. I think if I'd stayed in that business, I mean, I think it's interesting. I did an interview for an LA magazine years ago when I was at Telemundo, and they said, so if you could pick any job in America, so what would you pick? And it just came out. I said, head football coach at Notre Dame. You know, it was always in me. I don't know how to say it, you know. I mean, that just kind of came out, but I kind of maybe paused. So, no. But I've had such a great connection with Hawaii, you know, in all those years of when Jim and I were doing the games. I mean, that was like incredible. You talk about great times of your life. And I knew the impact it was having and the listenership, because I've loved Hawaii. And so I would have been okay even at UH because it's a great university.
If you resonate with Greater Good Radio, please join our community at www.greatergoodradio.com, where you can get access to exclusive content and offerings. Hope to see you soon.